Okay, hello everyone, and thanks for joining the presentation. So, I'm Frederick Raducki. I'm a game designer at Boombit, and I worked on. Those are some titles I worked recently, which are still on the market and growing in numbers. And also, I was involved during the 2 last years in the creation of creatives. So I'm not a developer. I'm not a UA specialist, but I'm a game designer, and I'm also a Unity enthusiast. So this is the talk of today. Is, let's say, my take on the topic and my vision of it, and how we can make everyone's lives easier. Let's say creating directly creatives inside Unity 3D. A small word about Boombit, my company. So we are a mobile game developer and publisher. We can be happy to have now more than 1.1 billion downloads overall during the company lifetime. And this year we have more than 60 million downloads and growing on our titles. So about today's talk, I will divide it in three parts. The first one is what is the problem I'm trying to solve by saying that we should make directly creatives inside Unity 3D and not in various other external softwares. Then, okay, I will go a bit deeper in the topics, showing you how I propose to use Unity as this tool. And at the end, I hope we will have time. I will show you directly into Unity a small demo. I hope it will work. No demo effect, please. Okay, so problem to solve. Here, just as a small reminder, I will show you one example of a creative from one of our titles, so this off-road hill climb game. So I hope it works, yeah. Okay, so this is a really quick example. This is a 15 seconds creative. And as we can see, for me, why I tried to approach this creatives process differently, because I saw, as a game designer, I saw the fact that making a creative for everyone in the company, everyone involved, is like a full project on its own. Because it's not really the game, but it's something that is supposed to depict the game and attract players to it. So we have often special versions of the gameplay. It's not really the thing you will find out in the game. Also, it's not made directly on mobile, but it's made, on the computer, and a video is rendered. Also, you have very often custom level design. You have custom UI overlays, for example. As we saw here in this example, you have a virtual joystick, but it could be anything, a virtual steer wheel, some hands, pointing hands, as we see very often, coins going up in the UI. So really, it's not really the exact same aspect as the original game, let's say. Also music and voiceovers, and also post-processing effects. So we know that here we can go a bit crazy because, okay, we are doing a mobile game, but the creative must be as cool as possible. So why not? We don't have the pressure of the performance of the device. We are just rendering the video. So, yep. So as I said, it's a full project on its own. Okay, I just have a small question for the audience, because actually this topic and the proposition I have can relate to people from bigger studios, but also from indie dev and small studios. So I would like just, if you can raise your hand, like who recognize more into the category of indie dev, small studios? Okay, so and the rest, so bigger studios, bigger, let's say, organizations. All right. Okay. So now I know a little bit more, and also the problem, the forms of the problem that takes to create a good creative in a efficient time can be different whether you are creating a totally new idea from scratch. And here I think that this methodology or this idea that I'm proposing here and talking about can take its full potential, but it can also work in already existing projects. So to sort of inject such tools inside existing Unity project. Okay, so continuation of the problem for making a good creative is that you have the ad idea on the left side of the slide, and then you have a lot of people involved. Yeah, you have the game designer, the developer, the 2D, 3D artists. Here the idea maturates and then goes through, let's say, the UI specialist, the video, audio editors. So this can be really a lot of other person, but you have a lot of iterations. So if you say, I would like my character to have just a little more shadow under it, or I want just a little bit more of fog in the scene, it's really difficult just by saying it or writing it on a channel or sending an email, whatever, to just have this perfect vision of the ad, how you envision it, and to have this ad ready to be published. Also, I'm mentioning here that for indie and solo developers and small studios, where, as we know, there is more this effect of the one-man army. Yeah, so one person who is doing actually all those roles at once. Also, a lot of possible programs. So here I just thrown in a lot of potential programs you could use, either on the art side or on the video or audio edition side. So we know that also Unity and Unreal. Why I mention Unreal? Because actually the thing I'm saying here is that this can be applied to actually any engine. From the moment that you know the possibilities of the engine and you know that your goal is to create those ads, why not prepare everything and make everything inside this engine from the moment when it's able to record and output a video. Also the time pressure and the competition pressure, because we know this advertisement, this creative, we have a limited time to make it. And during the same time, all the competition, the rest of the world is also creating other creatives which are in competition with ours for user acquisition. So we need to cope with the competition. So this is also a problem. So my suggestion here is to use Unity as a video composer recorder. So what are the, let's say, the positive points of that is to avoid those bottlenecks and time wasting when you are starting a new idea, a new prototype or a new creative. You just rush straight from the idea to the ad that you can send to any channel to test the CPI or all the KPIs. Also, to go really faster and create more ideas and more creatives, like to spare everyone's time, from the designer, the art, the devs, the video editor, the UA specialists. So here the proposition is just to have everything as a Lego, have as much things as possible ready inside Unity, with the vision that, okay, we will need to make an ad from it. Also transpose easily and very fast the new best practices and the new trends across all the new prototypes starting. So, for example, if the UA specialist tells you that, I don't know, there is a new trend about something, for example, you need to show a finger, a pointing finger inside all your video, you can come back to your project, your Unity project, and re-record your new gameplays or all the project you have actually on your plate with that new, let's say, best practice ready. If you have a lot of programs, you will need to find out, okay, who was the video editor who had this little hand when we added the hand over the video? So who has the project for Adobe Premiere or name it, whatever program? So here, okay, everything was already made inside the Unity engine from the beginning. So you know that you just go inside the program and you change, let's say, the asset which is representing the player cursor, because we are on the PC recording, for a hand or for something else. Okay, and so last point, why do that? It's to really put everyone's hard work in what really matters, because creating all those creatives every week, every month, every quarter, and all the year, I mean, if we have to recreate every time the same elements, it's a waste of time. And okay, the idea here would be to use, we all know these visuals from famous Hollywoodian studios or US series recording where they have this spinning, let's say, scene. So for me, what I recommend is to use Unity as this sort of already ready for any modification, to have already a scene. No matter the gameplay you will put in, you already have all the elements ready, and you can just grab them and use them. So yeah, I will just take a sip. So actually in Unity there are already a lot of existing modules. So from the Unity recorder, of course, which is here crucial, but also through the camera handling with Cinemachine, and also the post-processing effects. Also for the audio, if you are having a voiceover at certain point of your creative, why not handle to the audio mixer the fact that, okay, all the sounds from my game will just be raised down so that the voiceover can be the most prominent element, or the music. So here really we are already all the time thinking about the final output, about this video, this creative. Very often, if there is a new prototype which is starting, as we all know, the developer who is in charge of it, he doesn't really have time to take care of all of that. Yeah, he's trying to rush as fast as possible from the initial idea to something playable. But here, why not have him covered by having this already made for him, and he just takes from a repo, let's say, a scene, a Unity project, as a sort of bootstrap, let's say a kickstart for the project, and he can start working on it. So yeah, here I just mention a few elements that can change all the time. As I was saying, Hollywoodian stage. We can have, for example, for the player entity, maybe it's a game with a humanoid, or maybe it's a game with a vehicle. Also, you can have a sort of little library of all the assets that you or your company owns, and be able to switch across them. Yeah, different cars, a truck, extra. For the camera, also Cinemachine. So a beautiful tool, because you can edit every zoom of every camera and make transitions between cameras, and have also those let's say post-processing effects on it, and for things like plugins like Flatkit. So here, once again, if a new developer starts a project and he starts to work on his idea, probably he will just throw a camera inside the scene. But if later on the US specialist or the whoever, marketing, for example, in company says, can you make the same video in first-person view? Oh, man, okay, I need to, maybe my controls are not even compatible with the fact of putting a first-person camera. But if he already has a player entity, which is a humanoid or a car, and you already have there as a child object all those Cinemachine cameras, well, it's perfect, because the developer doesn't really need to take care of that. He just needs to take care of what will this entity do in the world of the game, and not how can I show this entity nicely through the camera. Same thing for the recording. You can actually, by scripting, directly tell to the recorder how many seconds he needs to record, like standard creative's duration, like 15, 30 seconds, or any other duration. And also for the aspect ratios. So for example, portrait or square, or actually landscape. So depending if you are making a creative for a channel, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whatever channel you want to publish it on, yeah, you can switch through aspect ratios and make the video recording directly according to that need. I will just skip it because we can go like this very, very longly, but as you can see in each modules, there are things that are recurring, that every time you start a new idea, you want to confront it with the market, will it work or not, make a CPI test, you will always return to the same, let's say, questions. So as a designer, okay, I watched this and I said, why have this waste of time? Why not just rush in and have already, let's say, out of the box working Unity project? So here a few examples, and we will switch very quickly to Unity directly, because we are 15 minutes out of 20. But here it's an example. On the left you have the Unity standard assets car, you have another car, so you could potentially switch through it, cycle through it, and decide which actually design you want, a more realistic one, a more cartoonish one, or maybe retro vector-ish style. Here, oh, the cameras. So this is an example. Third person following camera, or maybe a camera that is fixed in the environment, or maybe you want a fixed camera that is always looking at the player, or the first person camera. So yeah, if you have the Cinemachine elements already ready there, it's fine. And here, for example, if you decide at some point that collectibles in your game, coins are so 2020 and rubber ducks are now the new fancy collectible. So yeah, you could already have that thing. The developer wouldn't have to take care of that. He just knows that he puts collectible on certain spots, and okay, just change the asset and change the coins for rubber ducks. And last thing, okay, one thing that I was really interested in when suggesting this is to make the life easier also for non-technical persons. So here, for example, in this case, in the tool that I'm actually proposing, and we have some pilotage projects, it works with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 very simple TXT files, like old school style, you know, line by line config file. And one is for the add banners that will appear on top. So you can say at which second a certain banner should appear. Another for the environment, so yeah, to say what is the scale of the collectibles, what is the intensity of the shadows in the environment. Same thing for the avatar. You are able, for example, to change, you know, the speed at which he moves, or for example, to say auto throttle. So I don't want to press my key. I just want to take care of the recording. I just want this car to go forward by itself as the very second I press play. Actually, it would be the very second I press record, because here I also suggest to connect the Unity recorder with this logic of such a tool or your code, so that you know you don't need to use an external recorder, but you just press record and the project starts and puts the proper messages at the proper time. All right, so here now the time for the quick demo. I hope it will not, I will not break everything. I will just press play. Okay, so let me just see. Okay, so here you can see already that I have sort of everything ready. It means that when I turn my keyboard, I already have this steering wheel which moves as soon as I move. Yeah. Also, when I will,
you can do it.
So actually, the project here is connected with a text-to-speech MIT actually plugin, and so you can just go inside a text file, for example, add upper banners, and here we can say, I don't know, welcome Digital Dragons, okay? So we'll make our own creatives right now on the go. I hope it will work. So yeah, Digital Dragons. Okay, I save it. And now let's come back to here. Let's start just recording. We'll see. Okay, so indeed, it's laggy, but we know why. It's recording. But I have a sort of helper. You see on the left, there is a gauge, yeah, that is going from up to down. And at certain points here, you have exclamation marks and little dots, which are actually saying what the TXT file was saying. So at which really moment of this recording should the text appear on top and should the voiceover occur. So let the recording finish. So actually when he reaches the time that was specified in one of the config files, he just stopped recording. And now let me just go to the proper folder, and we will watch our creation, let's say.
Welcome. Digital dragon, it is awesome. Only 1% succeed. Don't be scared. You can do it. Only 1% succeed.
Well, it was repeating, but okay, you got the idea. So yeah, we are arriving at the end of the 20 minutes. It's going very fast. So I will just to finish say that yeah, the takeaways: don't reinvent the wheel, and every time you are making a new creative, just start prototyping the prototyping process with the final ad in mind, because very often we are in this trap that okay, we do the whole awesome idea and we need to make a creative to confront it with the market, but in the end we created for ourselves many hassles, you know, and if you start right from the beginning until you didn't prove that your idea will work on the market, let's just assume that you are, you know, making the creative before the game, let's say. Yeah, and so other points was to customize the tool, of course, to your frequent need, because I'm not saying that this will be a sort of holy grail and magically solve any problems. There is no such tool that works like out of the box magically, but yeah, tailor it and customize it to your needs. And I believe that in bigger companies, bigger organizations, you can create a common knowledge and a language to gain velocity over time. It means that, for example, my ambition is that if you have designers talking with artists and talking with UI specialists over such tool, and they repeat doing that over 10 projects, 20, 100 projects, they will acquire an even better velocity over time to make as much nice ads, nice creatives during the whole quarter, year, and over time. So thanks a lot. That's the end of the presentation, and we have time for questions, I guess. So if you have any questions, shoot. If not, everything was clear. Thank you very much.